Welcome back to another reflection on the daily Vedantic. Recently, Swami was given a lecture, the lectures that you can tune into through the app for the ashram, which is, I always say this, but so wild that a little ashram in India has an app where you can tune into the same lectures that all of the students there at the ashram get to tune into. But you can, and it's called Vedanta World. You can download it, tune into the lectures. Don't expect anything great from the app because it is a nonprofit app, but it's pretty good for that. And 200 years ago, you'd have to trek to the Himalayas to hear from a master once or twice, much less be able to tune in every morning right before your drive to work. It is pretty wild, and I highly recommend tuning into the lectures directly from the source, because this whole podcast project is just an on-ramp to people tuning into those. And one of the things that he was saying in today's lecture was how try to find someone that's selfish and at peace. In other words, we're told selfishness is a vice, but we're not exactly told why. We're just told not to be selfish. And what I love about the Vedantic philosophy is that it tells you why not to be selfish, because it will agitate you. In other words, selfishness will lead to internal agitation. And Swami says this is so easy to experiment with. Find one person that you know is just, really selfish. Are they a peaceful person? Or are they agitated? When you make a selfish decision, something that's going to be in your benefit at work, against the benefit of a customer or against the benefit of a coworker, where you gain, they lose. How do you feel inside? This call, it's related to a Vedantic principle that we're not punished for the sin, we're punished by the sin. There is no cosmic judge that's keeping track, tallying up a scorecard. It's going to give you that scorecard when you die. It's you touch a hot stove, you lie to someone, you cheat, you take instead of give, and then you get to deal with the burnt hand. You get to deal with the internal agitation from the act itself. You're not punished for the sin, you're punished by the sin. Selfishness leads to agitation. It is a law in the world, and it is a law within this philosophy. We can make up examples in our head where, but what about those billionaires that are on yachts and so happy and so selfish and just kind of destroying the world around them, but they seem so happy. Take idiotic hypotheticals of made-up examples out of the discussion and just go to a selfish friend of yours. Think of a friend or an acquaintance or a coworker that you know is really selfish. Does it feel like they've got a great rhythm in life? That they are a peaceful energy to be around? Or do they seem irritable, irritated, agitated? Do they seem a little off kilter? Well, this philosophy says when you're selfish, it's a law. You will be agitated. Swami also would go on to say that, he says this quite often, and it's so true. Find someone that's unselfish. Think of an unselfish friend of yours. Think of the friend that, they're always giving. Look at the flow that they have in their life. Someone that's genuinely giving, not kind of erratically checking in or putting you on a prayer list or just kind of like worrying about you. But someone that is a selfless individual. Someone that you think of as, wow, they are so helpful with this and this that I have going on in my life. And I see them so helpful with that and that other thing with that other friend that they touch base with, that they're actually useful. Again, not kind of erratic worrying, but someone that is oriented to service and capable of service. Look at that unselfish person that is not just oriented around service, but is capable when it comes to service. That person, that unselfish person, You will find them in a beautiful flow with a beautiful internal peace about them. And they've tapped in to both timeless wisdom and one of the most virtuous cycles there is. That unselfishness leads to more peace. More peace gives you clarity. See where you could be more unselfish. That unselfishness then leads to more peace. That recognition of, wow, I'm just getting so much out of being unselfish. I'm going to continue to offer generosity here, offer unselfishness there. And you offer it and you just keep getting tenfold in return in terms of peace. You tap into that timeless wisdom, this natural law, and those people end up being far more peaceful than perhaps the other friends that you see around them. Oriented to service and capable of service instead of those oriented towards selfishness and stuck in a mire of agitation, succumbing to a doom loop where they think, okay, well, as long as I get mine, I just got to get mine. I'm going to use all of my focus in the midst of this agitation to get mine, and then I'll be able to focus on other people, and it just takes them further. It's like drinking salt water when you're thirsty. Acting selfishly is a lot like drinking salt water when we're thirsty. Thinking it's going to quench our thirst, thinking it's going to give us what we want, thinking it's going to give us peace, and yet it leaves us more agitated than before. And I am now seeing in the monitor that my microphone is covering half my face during this episode. But at least the microphone is picking up the audio. Today's reflection is really all around this natural law. Selfishness leads to agitation. Unselfishness leads to peace. But nothing that someone else, especially someone on the other side of a microphone in a podcast, nothing that someone else can say will compare in any way to our own subjective experience. So try it out. See if acting 20 minutes from now, an act of selfishness brings you peace or agitation. Similarly, do something without any motive. Pick up a piece of trash that you would have never picked up before. For no cosmic benefit, for a recognition, it's probably not going to make a huge difference on the cleanliness of the street you're on, but pick it up just for the unselfish nature of small act of service to beautify the community. See if it provides any peace within you. Continue to kick the tires of this selfishness to agitation, unselfishness to peace. Follow that experience, not just someone else's words, especially not the words that just say, don't be selfish. It's so valuable to know why. Part of that is through hearing someone else talk about it, but really, like I said, it's through experiencing it yourself. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.